You know, I never thought that uploading deck text onto my YouTube channel would lead to people purchasing the commander decks that I build. Keep in mind, guys, that the commander decks that I build for fun and not necessarily for any competitive value. So the commander that we're talking about today is Yidris, the Maelstrom Wielder. Yidris says that whenever he deals combat damage to a player, as you cast spells from your hand this turn, they gain Cascade. He does have Trample, he does have a decent amount of power, and he is 4 colors. The purpose of this deck is built around a strategy that I learned early on in my Magic the Gathering career, and that ability is called BLOODRUSH. BLOODRUSH is generally a playstyle in which you can take creatures from your hand that have BLOODRUSH and pay a certain amount of mana to discard the creature card from your hand. You can then buff a creature and sometimes give it a keyword until the end of turn. So this commander deck is filled with creatures that have the BLOODRUSH ability, and BLOODRUSH is good inside this commander deck because it basically allows us to buff our commander. Our commander does already have Trample, so when our commander is attacking, we can discard this to give our commander +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of lands we control, which definitely helps to allow us to commander damage people out of the game rather quickly. Now, because we're playing this way, we also need a way to get our creatures back, because whenever we're activating BLOODRUSH, we're taking the creature cards and we're discarding them, putting them immediately into the graveyard. Now, some of the best cards inside this deck are these cards over here, which essentially gives us the ability to, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Basically, we're getting to BLOODRUSH multiple times with the same BLOODRUSH card every single turn. And there is no secret about what you're doing when you play this commander deck. I mean, you BLOODRUSH something, and then it goes to the graveyard, you start your next turn, you get that BLOODRUSH back. So your opponent immediately knows what's going on when you're playing this commander deck, and I think it's kind of honest. It's pretty fun. Here are more cards that help you get creatures from your graveyard back to your hand. For me, it's a fun way to play the game, you know. We also have a card here called Signal the Clans, which gives you the ability to search your library for 3 creature cards, you reveal them, and then you can choose one of them at random, and then the rest go back into your library. Just a really good way to get a BLOODRUSH creature into your hand. You don't necessarily care which one it is, as long as you get one of them into your hand. That way you can get that combo started with the Palace Siege. We also have these cards over here like Rhythm of the Wild and Fervor, which gives creatures we control haste so that we can attack with our creatures right away. Keeping in mind that because this is a creature-based deck based on dealing commander damage and or just trample damage with other creatures, like I can show you this Battle Mammoth here. A lot of the creatures you want inside your deck have to have Trample, so that as these creatures attack, you know, you can BLOODRUSH onto them and then just deal a lot more damage than normal. But because you're attacking with a lot of creatures, your opponents technically have the ability to destroy them. And if they destroy them, it stops you from playing the game. One card that I really like over here, just to express an example, we have a Battle Rage Blessing, which gives target creature Death Touch and Indestructible until the end of turn. For example, if you're attacking with Yidris for 5 trample damage and Yidris gains Death Touch, you're going to deal 1 point of damage to the creature that's blocking Yidris, and then 4 points of damage are assigned to the player. So it's a nice way of buffing your creatures and giving them indestructible at the same time. I like to keep these videos short, so that's the general idea for the Yidris commander deck. If you want to see the deck list will be in the description below. Also, before we end this video, a huge shout out to Melissa, somebody at my local game store, for painting me this painting over here. This is going to make a lot more sense in the future. Also, just keep in mind, guys, that if you have anything that you would like to send to me so I can put it in the background of these videos, PO box is in the description below and you can send your things over there. I always say the same thing when I end these videos. Always remember, eat healthy, all right? Work out every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And most importantly, you guys got to remember to believe in yourself.